Boom. All right, what's up, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about my top 3 stock picks for the month of October 2021. You guys, spooky season is upon us, and I do personally remain a bit suspect on the greater equity markets, but there is always a bull market out there, and I'm excited to explain to you guys why I chose the 3 names that we're going to be talking about today. All right, so let's get straight into it. As always, we'll quickly go over the structure of the video and then dive on in. So to kick it off, we are going to read over this write-up / graphic that I just made for you guys titled Top 3 Stocks of October. This graphic, of course, consists of the 3 names that we are going to be talking about today, followed by a brief description of what the stock is, what the company does, why I'm personally bullish on it, and then lastly, my end of month price targets. Okay, so of course, as we go over the price targets, we will jump into the charts in the back one by one as we go down the list, and I will do my best to justify and rationalize the price targets that I've set in the write-up. Okay, so that's pretty much the video right there, you guys. But before we get into it, I want to read you guys the intro to the newsletter that I wrote this morning. Dive in. Happy Monday, you guys. New week, new gains. Let's close out the month of September with a bang. I'm liking the way things are setting up so far. The big 3 equity indices, so the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, are slacking today, which they were, but the Russ 2K, the Russell 2000 small cap index, is seeing some very promising price action, led by the EV / green energy sector. You love to see it, and of course that is apparent in the 3 names that we're going to be talking about today, but again, we'll dive into that right after. If there is a sector in the market that I think will be able to thrive in any macro environment, bullish or bearish, it's EVs and green energy. Although I'm still cautious on the greater markets and will continue to hold on to a significant chunk of my hedges, I'm definitely feeling bullish when it comes to this sector. I'd say my current bull bear breakdown is 70-30, and that sentiment is reflected in my portfolio breakdown. So again, you guys, I wanted to read this to you just to give you guys my thoughts on the market this morning. Of course, it is the last week of September, September 27th, Monday, September 27th at the time of recording. September was a rough month for the equity markets, but as I just said, there is always a bull market somewhere, even if that bull market is hedges and shorts, which I do hold some of. But EVs and green energy, as you guys will see as we dive into these charts, is extremely appealing to me. If you guys do want to know exactly how I'm trading the 3 names we're talking about today, along with a lot of other EV plays, a lot of other exciting plays, and if you want one of these bad boys in your email inbox every single trading day, along with the complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, first link down below. Again, update this every trading day during market hours, and with every portfolio update, I also send out one of these bad boys, an email newsletter explaining my thoughts, rationalizing my trades, letting you guys know why I'm trading the way I'm trading. 50 a month, 40 every 3 months, completely up to you. Do my best to make that worth your hard-earned capital. First link down below, it means a lot if you guys check that out, as always. But if not, it's all good. I appreciate you guys watching right now. Let's talk about these 3. Okay, so BLNK is obviously the first one. We'll dive into the chart right after we read over this bad boy. So BLNK charging. BLNK provides fast level 2 EV charging stations and networks for homes and businesses. I'm hyper bullish on EVs and green energy for the reasons I just said. Infrastructure bill is supposed to be coming up this Thursday. If you guys are watching this at any point in October, you will have known how that played out. But at this point, considering so much of this sector, BLNK and Helion, of course, are both EV related plays. Small cap as well, both like $1.5 billion market cap, which has so much room for growth in terms of just raw market cap potential. I'm just so bullish, especially considering this infrastructure bill once again is coming up very, very soon. A lot of capital, a lot of government funding is going to be going into building out EV, green energy, eco-friendly infrastructure, which BLNK and Helion do fall under, along with, once again, many other names in the sector that I'm super bullish on at the moment. These are just the 2 that I personally narrowed it down to, that I kind of feel the best about, say are the safest plays in my eyes. And the technicals look great, especially once again, considering that so much of the sector since their highs back in January, February of 2021 of this year, like over 6 months ago now, have seen such staggering corrections. BLNK has seen over a 60% correction, but is also forming this beautiful, beautiful bull flag, and we're coming to the pinnacle of that bull flag. If you guys are part of the Waves fam, you guys been following along, you would know that the bull flag is my single favorite pattern in the entirety of the markets, you guys. In this entire game that is trading and technical analysis, the bull flag is just my go-to. That is my boy. So let's hope this massive bull flag, one of the cleanest and biggest bull flags, honestly, that I've ever seen. Parabolic move up followed by descending triangle. This is a big old flag, and we are coming to the pinnacle, to the apex of that flag. And I'm feeling a breakout to the upside for from a technical perspective and fundamental. I think the fundamental tailwinds can definitely back that up. So If we do see a breakout, which will happen as we move into the first week or so of October, and again, I think this is very likely, you guys, again, especially considering the greater markets, if capital flows out of bigger sectors, out of big caps like the S&P, that capital will want to find a home in more promising sectors, that sector of which, in my opinion, in my mind at this moment, is going to be EVs, okay? So if we do see a breakout, of course, you guys, when I'm setting these levels, when I'm setting these price targets, I'm primarily just looking for previous ceilings and floors, previous areas of support and resistance. So we probably will see some, obviously some resistance around here, like around 37 bucks, just areas where we've bounced. And once again, just looking at these charts, looking at these candles used as ceilings and floors in the past. But by the end of the month, if things rip, Blink, once again, Blink is at a $1.25 billion market cap, which is tiny. It does not take that much capital to flow into the stock to appreciate the individual share price. So I think it's very possible for Blink to come up and revisit the highs it set over here. Pretty solid ceiling. You see it played out this little inverse head and shoulders, but I think 45 bucks is a fair price target if everything goes accordingly, following a breakout, following some volume, which is what we really need to see here comparative to where we were back at the beginning of this year. There is no volume, but once again, with this infrastructure bill, with capital wanting to find a home if it is exiting large cap stocks, like Tesla, like other big players in the sector, wanting to find more exciting plays, I think Blink is a very, very appealing candidate, along with these two, of course, as well. And my upside price target is 45 bucks, or a 47% increase once again from current levels. Let's move on to Helion. Read through this bad boy once again. Helion produces electrified powertrain systems that can augment or fully replace traditional diesel or natural gas fueled powertrains. So Helion, if you guys have been following along, if you guys have been part of the Waves fam for a while, you would know and hopefully love Helion. We've followed Helion for a very long time. Helion has had a crazy ride since it went public back here. They did, if you guys remember, when it was Tortoise Acquisition Company before their merger in June of 2020. So over a year ago now, Helion ran up all the way to almost $60. We are currently in single-digit territory. So purely from an asymmetric risk profile perspective, meaning that the upside potential significantly outweighs the downside risk, I think Helion from a long-term perspective is such an attractive buy. They're scaling their operations. Their new Austin facility is sick, and they're just doing such a unique thing within the EV space, which makes it a very unique play in, again, customizing these powertrains and providing a more eco-friendly green solution to one of the largest industries in North America, and most important at that, and that is trucking, and that's semi-trucks, okay? So very, very large, significant, same thing, very significant addressable market, okay, which is huge. Again, that means they can scale, and they just create this one thing, which is awesome. They can hone in on it, they can refine it, they can do it the best that they can, and almost monopolize the space. So Helion, sitting again in single digits as far as share price goes, $1.5 billion market cap, so much room for growth here. $1.5 billion to me or you is a lot of money, but in terms of a publicly traded company, of just a stock, that is not much at all. Okay, so Helion of today, also we saw a huge run up today. Helion at one point today was up 10%. Love to see it. Finally, been waiting for this, you guys. Finally broke out of this descending channel that it's been in for a long time. This red line right here is also a very significant line of long-term resistance on the long-term downtrend that's been just playing out over the past 6 months. But as of right now, there is no short-term nor medium-term lines of resistance in the way, and for all the reasons that I just mentioned in regard to Blink and just everything going on with the macro, I think it's very possible that Helion sees a nice run up. And again, considering, you guys, it's been at $60 before, I think $15 is an extremely conservative price target, and I would not be surprised at all. Once again, if everything goes accordingly, just my opinion, you guys keep that in mind, if we do see Helion run up over the course of the next month or so, 60+% to reach $15, which again, you guys, is still pretty darn conservative, at least in my mind. But you guys know I'm an optimist, so always keep that in mind as well. Let's close it out with VIXY, which is a very, very different play. Some of you will know VIXY very well, but let's talk about VIXY. That she can be a cruel mistress sometimes, but if you're right, if you time this correctly, it pays off in a very, very big way. Okay, so this is definitely more of a gamble than many plays, but I will explain to you guys right now why I believe it's important to keep VIXY in your portfolio at this point in time. So Vix Futures Etf is actually like ProShares. The full name was too long, but you guys look up VIXY, ticker symbol VIXY, you can find it. VIXY keeps pace with the VIX through the S&P 500 VIX short-term futures index. Although I'm bullish on certain sectors and small caps, again, like EVs, like green energy, like certain short squeeze plays, as many of you guys know, I am bearish on the S&P 500, the Dow, the Nasdaq, more legacy sectors of the market, large cap players, the FANGs. I do think just the nature of the markets, you guys, it's all cyclical. That is the law of the land. The market works in cycles. I think considering so much of the sector has gotten beaten down, the macros are looking bad. The S&P, if you guys have been following along, still looks very bearish in my eyes. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is not looking too hot as either, unfortunately. But again, even if you are just short the market, or even if you are a bull, I said this last week, I do believe it's important to keep at least some VIXY in your portfolio. In the case that a black swan happens, I'm not saying a black swan is going to happen, but just to protect your portfolio from damage in the case that, you know, it's just chaos. It's literally a chaos hedge, okay? So S&P goes up, VIXY goes down, vice versa. S&P goes down, which I think it will. VIXY goes up. It acts as a hedge to the S&P 500. And right now, because I'm bearish on the S&P and many large caps, I am bullish on VIXY. And once again, you guys, it's just, in my opinion, it's just safe to have at least a little bit of VIXY in your portfolio to hedge your bets. Even if you're an absolute bull, if you're a perma bull, that's okay. But I do recommend at least what I do, you guys, not financial advice, but in my opinion, it's smart to have some VIXY in your account at all times. So VIXY, we all know what VIXY can do. Just earlier, just about a week ago at the time of recording, exactly a week ago, last Monday, when the markets really tanked, we saw VIXY appreciate from $20 to about $27. So when this thing moves, again, when you're right, you're very right. It's leveled off over the course of the past week as the markets have rallied, but once again, I'm still bearish on the S&P 500. In terms of price targets, it's almost pointless, to be honest, using or looking at VIXY on the charts. But I do look at the S&P on the charts, and if I'm bearish on the S&P, I do have downside price targets for the S&P. I do expect the VIXY or any VIX-related ETF to rise. Okay, so those are the three plays we're talking about, you guys. Again, it feels good to be bullish. I've been bearish on a lot for a while, or for the past few weeks, I should say. So I'm very happy. I'm stoked to be bullish on a sector that I truly do care about from a trading perspective and from a human perspective. Like green energy genuinely interests a lot. My sister has a degree in that realm, and I respect that as well. So it makes me feel very good about being bullish, putting my money to work in this sector, and doing good not only for my personal net worth, but for the planet as well, hopefully. I mean, that might be a little egotistical, but you know what? It's trading, you guys. It's a pretty ego-oriented game if you guys aren't aware. But anyway, we'll call it there, you guys. Let me know what your favorite stocks of this month are, what names you're most excited about going into the month of October, and I look forward to catching you guys downstairs. One more time, if you guys want to know exactly how I'm trading these three names, along with what 50 to 60 given positions at any time, any given time in my entire portfolio. Once again, with the daily newsletter, this bad boy right here. First link down below. It really means a lot if you guys check it out again. And if not, no worries again. I think it's worth it, but I'm biased. So once again, I'll catch you guys downstairs in the comments, and I look forward to the month ahead of us. Always take action. Always make waves. Peace, guys.